All right, so are you ready for this? Today we're going to be diving into something truly unique.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
Okay, so we're going to be exploring Mondi, Amsterdam South.
Amsterdam, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a Caribbean restaurant, but it's getting a ton of buzz.
A Caribbean restaurant in Amsterdam? It's a combo I wouldn't have thought of.
Right. So to get to the bottom of this, we've got their website, we've got the menus, some news articles.
Sounds like you've done your homework.
Well, yeah, had to. We also even found some stuff about their partnership with a boutique hotel.
Oh, wow, fancy.
But the real question is, can a restaurant really transport you to another place?
You know, that's a good question. I've always felt like food can be such a powerful way to experience other cultures.
Exactly. And Mondi seems like they're going all in on that whole idea.
Oh, yeah. In what way?
So just try to picture this, right?
Yeah.
You walk into this gorgeous space. It's all designed with these things called botanical spheres.
Okay, I'm trying to picture it.
And there's this amazing outdoor terrace for when the weather's nice.
Amsterdam, so I'm thinking canals, warm evenings.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like more than just a place to grab a bite, right?
So sure, it's giving a whole vibe. Like they're trying to capture a whole Caribbean ethos, would you say?
100%. Even down to their mascot. You know what it is.
No. Tell me.
A hummingbird.
Ah, interesting choice.
And it represents liveliness on fragile wings.
You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. Hummingbirds have a deep symbolism in many Caribbean cultures.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're often associated with resilience, adapting to change.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a cute mascot, it's a deliberate choice.
Seems like it.
So speaking of deliberate choices, we have to talk about the chef, right?
Of course, the mastermind behind it all.
His name's Justin Neeson, and he describes his cooking as Caribbean soul food with a twist.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
And get this, he has this incredible personal connection to the place.
Now, that's what I love to hear. What's the story there?
Okay, are you ready for this? He used to hang out with his friends at the very spot where Mondi is now.
Oh, wow. Full circle moment.
I know, right? And now he's the head chef, creating these dishes inspired by those memories.
What are those memories like? Freedom, tranquility, those Amsterdam vibes.
You got it. So let's talk about the food itself, because Caribbean soul food with a twist, what does that even mean? Right.
For someone who's not super familiar with Caribbean cuisine, break it down for me.
Okay, so think about those classic Caribbean flavors like jerk chicken, but elevated.
Okay, I can imagine that.
And it's all about this idea of Caribbean shared dining.
Now, jerk chicken, for the uninitiated like myself, what's that all about?
So it's marinated in this amazing blend of spices, think allspice, Scotch bonnet peppers, so you get this smoky, spicy flavor.
Okay, my mouth's watering already.
Right. And shared dining is so important in Caribbean culture. It's about bringing people together, encouraging that community feeling.
Makes sense. So you've got the food, the vibe. What about drinks? I'm picturing some unique cocktails.
Oh, you better believe they have cocktails. A whole section of signature drinks, all inspired by the island.
Nice. Gotta have those tropical vibes.
Of course, but if cocktails aren't your thing, they have a really well-curated wine list, too.
So there's something for everyone.
Exactly. But let's talk about this partnership with the College Hotel, because this is where it gets really interesting.
I'm all ears.
All right, so picture this. You start your evening with a drink at the hotel bar.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And this hotel is in a 19th century school building.
Wow, talk about history.
Right. Then you head over to Mondi for dinner, soak up all the energy.
Yeah, I'm getting those vibes.
And if you want to keep the party going, you can even spend the night at the hotel.
They have rooms there.
Yeah, 40 luxurious rooms.
So it's a whole experience, a getaway.
It's like stepping into a little slice of the Caribbean right here in Amsterdam.
You know what? It makes me wonder if this fusion thing goes beyond just the food and drinks. Is there a fusion of design, of culture, of music even?
That is such a good point. I'm really starting to get curious about how deep this all goes.
Yeah, let's dive into that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's dig deeper into this fusion. I keep thinking about those botanical spheres you mentioned.
Right, so it's not just the food, the design plays a huge role too.
Yeah, and I'm curious, is there a connection between that design and the Caribbean itself?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine vibrant colors, natural materials like wood and rattan,
Okay, I'm getting a picture.
and of course lots of plants. It's designed to make you feel like you're in a tropical paradise.
Clever. They're using visuals to transport you too, not just the food.
Exactly. And then there's the music.
Oh yeah, what's the soundtrack to this Caribbean escape?
So they have a live DJ spinning tunes every Friday and Saturday.
Nice, I can picture it now. Dinner under the botanical spheres, surrounded by those vibrant colors, and feeling those Caribbean rhythms.
Yeah, it's a whole experience, right?
They've really thought of everything. It's appealing to all the senses.
And speaking of experiences, you mentioned those Caribbean nights before.
Oh yeah, tell me more about those.
Okay, so picture this. You walk into Mondi, and there are live dancers moving to those infectious Caribbean rhythms.
Wow, I'm getting some serious FOMO right now.
And there might even be some surprise acts, like a steel drum band or a fire dancer.
They're pulling out all the stops.
It's all about bringing that authentic Caribbean energy to life.
I love that they're going for authenticity. Now, I'm curious, are there any specific traditions or cultural elements woven into these nights?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm not sure if they highlight specific islands or regions.
Yeah, like are there dances or music styles unique to certain parts of the Caribbean that they showcase?
I'm not sure about that, but I do know they put a lot of effort into showcasing authentic traditions.
It's great that they're being mindful of that. It shows a real respect for the culture.
It's not just a generic tropical vibe, you know?
Exactly. And this brings us back to that big question we started with. Can a restaurant really transport you?
Right. And what I think is so interesting about Mondi is they're not just trying to recreate the Caribbean, they're blending it with their own vision.
That twist you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's what makes it so unique. Remember, Chef Neeson calls it Caribbean soul food with a twist.
Okay, so we talked about jerk chicken, but what else is on this menu? Give me some examples of this fusion in action.
So Chef Neeson's background really comes into play here. He's not afraid to experiment.
Like what kinds of experiments?
He'll blend traditional Caribbean flavors with global influences. You might find dishes with Asian spices, European techniques.
Interesting. So it's not just about Caribbean flavors, it's about a global fusion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He even incorporates local Dutch ingredients sometimes.
Now that's what I call fusion. Taking those classic flavors and reimagining them through a modern lens.
It's like a cultural conversation happening on your plate.
And that's what's so cool about this whole fusion thing, right? It's not just about mixing ingredients, it's about bringing different ideas and experiences together.
And isn't that what travel's all about? Opening yourself up to new things.
You nailed it. Maybe that's what Mondi's offering, a mini vacation for your senses.
Right here in Amsterdam. And don't forget that emphasis on shared dining.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it too, right?
It's not just about the food itself. It's about the experience of sharing it with others, connecting over these amazing flavors.
It brings us back to the core of what food can do. Bring people together, start conversations.
Speaking of conversations, what stood out to you the most about Mondi so far?
It's hard to choose. I'd say it's the combo of everything. That thoughtful design, the music, the menu.
It's like a perfectly crafted experience.
And knowing it all came from this personal story, the chef's connection to the place, that makes it even more special.
It's like poetry, the past and present coming together. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But let's get real for a second.
Okay, getting real.
Why should anyone listening care about Mondi? What's the takeaway here?
I think for anyone who's feeling adventurous or just curious, Mondi is a chance to experience something truly different.
You don't need to travel to the Caribbean. It's right there in Amsterdam.
And even if you think you know Caribbean food, Mondi's doing something new, something with a twist.
It's not just sticking to tradition, it's pushing things forward.
And I think that shared dining aspect makes it even better. You can try all these dishes, share them with friends.
And maybe discover some new favorites. Imagine you and your friends trying all these different things.
And maybe finding your new go-to cocktail.
It's about making memories, telling stories, all while enjoying great food and vibes.
It's about more than just the food. It's the ambiance, the music, that feeling of being transported somewhere else.
Like a mini vacation, right? And speaking of vacations, I can't stop thinking about that partnership with the College Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's a game changer.
Imagine starting with a drink at the hotel bar, then heading to Mondi for dinner.
And ending the night in one of those luxurious rooms.
And that sounds like a perfect night out.
It takes it to a whole other level, doesn't it? And, you know, it makes me wonder, is this the start of something bigger?
What do you mean?
This partnership with the hotel, is this a sign of things to come? Will we see more restaurants teaming up with other businesses?
To create these immersive experiences.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like people want more than just food when they go out these days.
They want a story, an experience, something to remember.
And Mondi's giving them all of that and more. They've created a world inside a restaurant.
Where you can enjoy incredible food, expand your palate, and maybe even learn something about a new culture.
So if you're intrigued, we've got all the details in the show notes.
Links to Mondi's website, the menu, even articles about that hotel partnership.
So go ahead, explore, check out the menu, Maybe even start planning your own Mondi adventure.
And if you find anything interesting, let us know. We love hearing from our listeners.
Until next time, happy exploring and enjoy those Caribbean vibes.
Bon appétit.